It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by Todd Loya, Pugs Dread, and our special guest of the evening, Chris McGibbon. Gentlemen, how goes your evening?
I can tell Chris is happy already. Look at that. Look at the joy in his eyes.
I fucking hate all of you.
Well, why don't we just jump right into it, Dan?
Why not?
What are we talking about? And give us a description.
Well, I feel like Chris may have already telegraphed his thoughts, but all right. So
I'm not done.
You of course loved it. All right, so
Best movie of the year.
We're reviewing the new film from Full Moon and the Deadly 10 series, Blade: The Iron Cross, which from director John Lechago, and this is the first spin-off movie from the Puppet Master series for a character. For decades, the fans have been asking for it, and now Full Moon finally delivers with the first ever standalone featured film centered around its most beloved character, the homicidal, hook-handed puppet assassin, Blade. It just doesn't give a lot more info, but basically this takes place right after Axis termination. It kind of follows where we left off. Of course, this has nothing to do with Littlest Reich, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we all really liked Littlest Reich.
It had more to do with Littlest Reich. That'd be
All I know is before you say anything else, I'm gonna pull the sound clip of Chris saying this is the best horror film of the year. Send it to Charlie Band so it's like shows up on the cover.
Chris McGibbon.
Todd, I will brave America. I know where you live. I will come.
You
for
know
you.
what? That is 100% worth it. If I could make that happen, I would.
Then he's gonna have to, everybody he's ever known, he's gonna have to tell him that it's bullshit.
I'll piss on all of your movies before I kill you, just so you have to watch.
Well, we might as well get somebody to say something nice first. So, Chris, what did you think of Blade: Iron Cross?
Oh my fucking god! You know, I was a big Puppet Master fan when I was a kid. I loved the first 5 movies. I loved the puppets. My favorite puppet was Jester. Blade was like a close second. Was a Puppet Master fan when I was a kid. Was is the operative word I want to keep using, because I just can't believe how much worse they just keep getting. I thought Retro Puppet Master was bottom of the barrel, but here we are. This movie was awful. This was terrible. I can't fucking believe that somebody made this. And it wasn't even like, okay, it's entertaining because it's so bad. It was boring as sin. And it's 1 hour and 10 minutes long, and I was fucking bored. And for a movie called Blade: The Iron Cross, the motherfucker's in 5 minutes of it. I mean, am I lying?
no. That's my big fucking problem with it too. Like,
With a fucking Robert Zadar chin, who redesigned this fucking puppet to look like that? Oh my god, I was so mad at this movie when it was over. I just got done watching it like a half an hour ago. I calmed down a bit since then.
Have you?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Had his bong hit. Oh man. No, well, so I'm a huge Puppet Master fan. Littlest Reich sort of renewed my faith in it. I've been saying for a while now, Full Moon just doesn't have the budgets now to do it properly. So I would be totally cool if this franchise existed now outside of Full Moon. I think Littlest Reich was a ton of fun. It was surprisingly fantastic, and we get what we want: the puppets. This movie, I mean, the fact that they're calling it Blade Iron Cross, I mean, I think that is probably accurate. Maybe total 5 minutes, maybe. He does have a couple cool kills. We get a gnarly slit throat and some hooks through the face and whatnot, but it's so fleeting. Like it's hard to really, recommend it on that because, again, I wish they would get away from the Nazi World War II stuff now because
You being offended, Dan?
no, it's just God damn it, Pugs. It's just they're never going to live up to Puppet Master 3, which I think is fantastic. And they've just been in that space now for so long that, like, I want to see them take the puppets to a completely new setting.
And I just got to say, we all know why Part 3 is Dan's favorite, but we'll just move along.
Shut up, Todd. Part 3 is a masterpiece, but I really still want to like it. I mean, there's a couple. The cast I thought was fine in this. There were some interesting characters. The cast wasn't too bad for a low budget horror movie.
Fuck that.
I would have liked more puppets versus zombies. I think there was at least a kernel of a good idea there. But as a whole, they just can't do it anymore. I wouldn't mind seeing a Leech Woman spinoff personally.
Shut up.
Maybe they'll do it better.
Next is Jester.
Don't. Come on.
Okay, see, I was a little softer on this one than you guys. Well, Pugs, do you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go ahead.
It's not the worst Puppet Master movie. I will say that 100%. That title is still reigning with the Puppet Master legacy.
Yeah, but that barely counts. I mean, that's not even.
It counts. It's official. It's in the numbering. It is 100% part.
But it's all old footage.
But it's
what I mean?
It's not. But it is a Full Moon movie.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I didn't beat that as worst. But I don't minus the lack of Blade. Because
the fucking movie is called Blade: The Iron Cross.
Okay, well, what about Godzilla, King of the Monsters, who's in that movie? Like,
he's in it for 45 fucking minutes. That's 40 minutes longer than the lead character is in this movie. Are you fucking kidding?
My point is
that wasn't King of the Monsters. That was the first Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay.
The first of the new Godzilla. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the original, the OG,
the one from like the 50s.
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
He does do a little more in that.
But no, what I'm saying is, like most of the Godzilla movies are about the people, not about the monsters, and that's what people complain about. And with this, they couldn't deliver a good Blade, so I'm kind of glad he wasn't front and center.
Scrap the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fucking do it then.
But they're gonna make him. So
make it a comic book series like they've been doing.
Which are just comics, yeah.
That said, it wasn't very good, but I don't think it was the piece of shit Chris was making. I've seen far worse. So,
what do you think, Bugs?
I fall in line with between you guys and Todd. Like, I wasn't offended by the movie. I think it wasted a little bit of my time, but my big issue is fucking why'd you call it Blade, the Iron Cross, if the little fucker is going to be in there for probably under 5 minutes. They stretched out a 10-minute story for 70 minutes. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's my big. Not to cut you off, but that's my big issue is that this movie, for an hour and 10 minutes, is boring. there's a lot of talking about stuff, and then there's a 5-minute, if that, total, altogether payoff. And that's it. And it's an hour and 10 minutes long. I never should have checked my watch once in a movie that's barely an hour long. Right? Am I lying? Were you not bored throughout this fucking movie?
Absolutely. I checked my phone at least 5 times.
It's not, I mean, I guess, yeah, you could say it's not the worst modern day Full Moon movie. That's not really saying anything. But yeah, I mean, it's more depressing now. I guess I don't really have any expectations out of a modern Puppet Master from Full Moon, but at least give us a different setting. That's like, put it on a boat, put it in space. I will take anything.
Here's my thing.
To get it away from Nazis.
They delivered on the first Deadly 10 with what was it? Ouija's. Yeah, Halloween night.
Yeah.
That one delivered.
Yeah,
and it was probably one of the better full moons in quite a while. I was kind of hopeful for this line, and then we get this second. So I get why they don't do the subspecies movies, because like the budget has to be there. Same reason they don't do the Trancers movies.
The castle and everything too. Yeah.
This is another franchise they should just make Evil Bong movies and stuff like Ouija's Ginger Dead stuff that it's not gonna. Those movies are what they are. This movie is something else, and they can't make this movie on a Ginger Dead budget.
I still like the idea of a solo movie for each puppet, but let the Littlest Right guys do it, because they're just gonna go have fun with it. This is not the way to go about it.
Well, Littlest Reich was a big surprise to me. I saw that with Todd.
Yeah.
And we both watched it for the first time together. And then when it was over, I looked at him and I said, was it just me, or was that not as bad as it should have been? And he said, no, I liked it. I said, I really fucking liked it. Like, we actually went back to certain parts of the movie to rewatch them right after we watched it. It wasn't the greatest thing I'd ever seen, but I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't garbage.
I liked it more than Chris.
Okay, that instantly became my favorite Puppet Master movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to high five somebody after the pregnant scene, but no one was around.
I liked elements of it a lot. I thought it was a really good concept. I thought the puppet designs were cool. There were just a couple of choices they made, I think, like music-wise and editing-wise, I thought they could have done better. Like, there's that awesome, like, 10-minute massacre scene in the movie that has no music in it, and then when the music comes in, it's like supposed to be kitschy classical music, but it doesn't quite fit. And then you forget about the main characters for 10 minutes. And I just think that's like, work them in there somehow so you don't forget you're watching a movie about other people.
Which is funny though, because you get all the puppet carnage, which this one's so lacking. So
yeah.
Yeah, well, now there were some classic puppets we didn't get, but I think when we reviewed that, the same thing. It's like, well, hopefully I'll do a sequel, and then we'll get some of the missing puppets. I can't even remember who wasn't in that now, but
well, they were all like basic. The only one I think that I remember seeing, I mean, obviously was Blade, but he had been redesigned. I don't remember seeing any of the others. Was there like a Pinhead or a Torch or something?
Torch, I thought was, and Pinhead might have popped up for 2 seconds or something, but yeah, they were lacking the classic puppets. Which
yeah, I'm feeling that too now.
It's been a while since I've watched it. I'd revisit it too, because I did like that movie more than I expected to. I really did. I mean, I thought, okay, this was good. I mean, this was better than I thought it was good. Everyone who's asked me about it, I told them, like, yeah, check it out. If you're tired of what Charles Band's doing, this will make you excited again.
And don't accidentally pick up Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
The non-gas.
Which to me still holds the record as worst.
But that's not an official Puppet Master movie, though,
I know
is it?
it's not.
No,
it's
okay.
not
But
canon,
if we're bringing up Littlest Reich, I figure that one's okay to shit on too.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Do you have any hope for the Bride of the Head of the Family, which of course is 20 years in the making now? They might pull that off.
I think that's enough where because they made that one in their mid-budget era, and if they were, and I'm going to use the Ouija, weed G's as a thing that they can do stuff. Okay, Chris, I know you have not seen Weed G's.
No.
Okay, but here's the thing that it was just such a trauma move. They're having a big party, and then like in the party, there's like the guy dressed as Blade and all the other like Full Moon characters, but it's so obvious they're the costumes that they use to make the movies.
Oh, God.
They're just there dancing at the party in the costumes.
I know in this movie they had an actor wearing a Blade. Wearing a Blade head and Blade knives, like it was supposed to be all through all the movement stuff. Because I saw pictures of the costume of them making it, and
they've been doing that for a while.
The movement stuff.
They did that on. They did that on the last couple too.
Yeah. See, I didn't watch the last couple. I gave up very smartly, I might add. After what was it? Which one was it? Was the Axis of Evil? Was like the newer.
That was Axis. Yes, then Axis. There's two Axis ones. Of Evil is the first one.
Okay. After I saw that one, I gave up. I was like, I'm done. I've finished this franchise. Because the other thing that drives me crazy about these movies is even like 1 through 5, they kind of rewrite the history of the franchise as it goes along. Like part 3 introduces Six Shooter, which is a prequel to 1 and 2, but he's not in 1 and 2. So it's like, okay, maybe he was lost in the hotel somewhere. Fine, we can accept that. But then they turn Andre Toulon from being a demented puppet creator who used these puppets to kill people to a Nazi hunter, and then the good guy in 4 and 5. It's like, wait a minute. I thought, because he was the main villain in part 2. He was trying to kill everybody. Was that because he was Zombie Toulon? And, like, how the fuck does William Hickey become this guy? So, whatever. And then, like, Curse of the Puppet Master wasn't good. Retro Puppet Master, for some reason, he's got a thick fucking French accent that you never hear or see of ever again. That's fun. And then, like, they go into these ones, it's like, you guys are rewriting the history of your franchise because they took the puppets out of the hotel. Someone else finds them before part 1 happens. And I'm like, wait, no. The first movie, like, this is... I'm done.
But can't someone else find them before the first movie?
But they don't stay there, though. They go where, like, they go back to Germany or something, don't they? How the fuck did they get back to the hotel? FedEx? Like,
well, there's still time to get him back there. I don't know the reason why, but I'm saying,
yeah. So when you start rewriting your history and your franchise, that's when I start to.
Yeah, but see that they've always done that though. So it's like.
How would you fix it? That's an interesting thing. Like, do you think it's time for them to do like well, again, I want to get away from the World War II stuff as much as possible, but I don't know, some kind of a direct sequel to the first one, sort of.
No. I think what they need to do is they need to stop beating the dead horse and let somebody else do it. I think Willis Reich was a good way to jumpstart it up again and try to get something with the property moving in the right direction. Because it was the first Puppet Master movie I had seen since part 5 that I was like, hey, I like this.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill someone after it was over. This movie was beyond frustrating because, like I said, it's the cardinal sin of a B horror movie is it's boring. You can be bad and still be entertaining. You can be bad and still be fun. This was just fucking boring. And it was not like at one point I wasn't even sure what time frame this was supposed to be taking place in because I don't remember photocopies existing in 1945 plus fucking modern buildings and friggin' sets that look nothing like they came out of 1945. This straight up looks like an abandoned office building they broke into with fucking digital clocks on the wall. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Who dressed this set?
The funny part was every time we hit the exterior shot, I was waiting to go into Patty's Pub. Because that's
seriously like find a fucking picture or like stock footage of fucking LA or whatever area they're supposed to be in from the fucking 40s. How hard is it?
I believe it's actually footage that they just took from Killjoy, actually, because that building's been used, or one of the later Killjoys. Because I'm pretty sure that's been used before. In fact, I think it's Yeah.
The insult to injury was the fucking blue screen shit with the actors standing in a warehouse. I'm like, you all couldn't find a fucking empty warehouse or a fucking office to put these people in? You got to put them on a fucking blue screen? Are you kidding me? And then like lighting them so they're like their fucking faces are blue. What is this, 1986? You can't do a fucking blue screen properly in 2020? Are you fucking with me? Like, if you're gonna do it, then fucking do it right. Like, I mean, like, come on, give me a break.
So what you're saying is you didn't like it.
I get 5 stars from Chris. That's all I get. Greatest movie of the year.
I don't get.
The
I mean, like,
Millennium. Well, do we want to rate this thing? I'm going to say Chris should go first.
I would love
fucking
to.
-5.
So you didn't
Hey,
get 5.
if Dan can't do 2.5, you can't do -5. Oh
Fine.
wait, Dan can't do 2.5. So
I was gonna say, Dan, you allowed that, you schmuck, so I can do whatever I want. I'm a guest. I'm allowed to. I can shit in your rug if I want to.
well, then you're not going to be a guest that's invited back if you shit on my rug.
I mean, it would be worth it to do it the one time if you use that fucking bit for Charlie Band. I swear to God, I'll do a lot worse than that.
What if it says the quote and then it just says Flestrian Radio?
No. No, because they're going to listen to the show and go, "Oh, Chris said that."
All right, I won't send this to anyone.
Why don't I believe you?
Hey, can I also
star.
point out real quick?
But you know what, Chris? They may put the shitty review on it. They've been doing that lately.
Oh yeah, they did that with Corona Zombies, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't think they want it for Blade, but
Puppet Master versus Corona Zombies. It's coming next. Oh, I'm not even kidding. That very well may happen.
I like Corona Zombies, but they'll just dub it.
Puppet Master saves the Tiger King. There you go.
Yes. Yes. No, I'm in.
As long as Leslie Jordan voices the kid again, then I'm down.
There you go.
I will watch that one, but that's it.
But
Okay.
these dubbing ones are actually probably what they should focus on. I do want to say real quick, the ending too. I'm not going to spoil it, but
Please
didn't
do.
really make
Save
sense
people an
to me.
hour and 10 minutes, for God's sake. Spoil the fucking ending.
Well, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like what sort of happened with the, or well, I guess we can say the alien moment. I guess you could say, not literally, but. So yeah, I mean, I'm a 1. Other than a couple okay kills, there's really nothing here. It's they just can't deliver what you want, which is the puppets, and they can't even give you just the one fucking puppet. So I'm a 1. I'm sorry to say, it's just not good.
Same.
Yeah,
Just one.
I'm same too.
So there you go. Sorry,
know.
they're killing
Sorry,
our
Chris.
childhoods.
Sorry, Chris, we didn't. We didn't.
Listen,
go
I
zero.
don't care if you guys didn't like it as much as I did, as long as no one was like, "Oh my God, how did you not like this?" Because like, I'd really have to fucking question your parents more.
I was gonna act like I liked it the whole time, and I couldn't even bring myself to do it.
The sad thing, because I remember being a kid, and again, I was a Full Moon Empire kid. I ate everything up that they put out. None of these are going to capture the imagination of kids now. There's just, and it's sad to me. I do wish they just stop, but money.
Somebody was pointing out the other day, I was watching a live stream where he was talking about the Resident Evil franchise, the games, and how that franchise just keeps going and going and going. And he was saying that it's okay to let a franchise die. It's okay to just have what you love, and then you don't have to keep going. And I think the same can be said about these movies. Like, it's okay if we just had Puppet Master 1 through 5 and Littlest Reich, and that was it. Like, we don't need a new one every year. But like you said, it's money, and people keep buying them and eating them up and seeing them. So he's still going to keep making them, which is horrifying all in itself. I just wish that someone else could get this property and do something with it, because I think there is potential there for something.
You know which one I thought would be cool, although they'd screw it up too, but 6-shooter in a Wild West themed park. That's my pitch for 6-shooter. I think it'd be a fun standalone. Kind of, yeah, basically just like 6-shooter going around in this like Western theme park. But I don't know. Full Moon I don't think has they got to stick to stuff like Ouija's, like Todd said. They can pull that off. Killjoy's still, actually got better. But that's it.
Yeah.
They just can't do the high concept.
We had Batty Boop on.
I mean, the
We did
worst
have
part
her.
about this movie is it's not even high concept in the sense that, like, there's not a lot going on here, and like it's just like it's like I said, it's just a very talky movie. So this they either didn't have the budget to do the crazy Blade stuff, which I don't think even gels, because they have basically a guy playing him to move him around, so they're not worried about digital animation or CGI. They just got to keep an actor in a costume and do various moves and run back and forth, and then they can chroma key him in. And like it's just, why call this movie Blade the Iron Cross if you're going to have the little fucker in it for less than 5 minutes? Like, I could have like, this movie could be condensed down to a 10-minute short and it would have been fine. I don't get. Like I said, I can forgive bad if it's entertaining. I can't forgive bad if it's boring.
Yeah,
and this was boring.
I agree. This one was sad, but hopefully we will get more outside of Full Moon. I don't know if the fact that they keep doing these hurts the chances of a Littlest Reich follow up, but I hope we still get more, because
Weren't we supposed to get a Littlest Reich follow-up? What happened with that?
No, I don't. The fact that it didn't go theatrical and all that, I think, hurt its chances.
Yeah, it's too bad, because I would have loved to have seen it in a theater. I thought they did a great job.
Didn't it have a one-night gimmick?
It played at Beyond Fest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it did have a couple screenings, but anyway, Dan.
So, anyways, be sure to support us for early and exclusive content on patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. Be sure to check out fleshwoundfeatures.com. On Facebook, be sure to join the Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio page and like the Flesh Wound Features page. And stalk us on Twitter, Instagram, and Spotify, all that good stuff.
People don't stalk you, Dan. Those are called bill collectors.
There you go.
Well, they have to stalk him to give him his restraining orders, so there's that. All right.
Usually send a constable for that.
Well, thanks for coming on, Chris.
Hey,
Thanks, man.
I'm sorry.
Better movie next time.
Thanks for fucking up my weekend.
Well, go watch Puppet Master Littlest Reich and feel better.
There you go. Get the taste out of your mouth. There you go.
All right. Good
At least
night.
you got a cool shirt on.
There you go.